Hey up, Rocco 2004 back with another video for you. This one, I've actually been requested to do this from my very good friend John over at Mondo Chelloveck. I will leave a link below to John's channel. Not that I need to, because everybody knows who he is, everybody loves him, and he's just one of the nicest people ever that I have ever met. Even though he's a Geordie and he's a gobshite. I love him to bits. Anyway, he asked me to do this a while back because he's done this and he's curious as to what my answers are. And it's going to tie in with all our video nasty stuff and our mutual love of the video nasties, as it were. So John has asked me to do this, which is my top 10 favourite video nasties on 4K. Not favourite film. We're talking the actual transfer picture quality and what have you. I can't add the sound quality onto that because I don't have like a decent setup like most of you do, or a lot of you do. I'm not fortunate enough to have that. All I've got is a sound bar. Do have a back sort of a woofer speaker, but every time I put it on Laura moans it's too loud. And it's not like surround or anything anyway, so I'm just going to give it on picture quality. Before I do my top 10, I have two honourable mentions. And the first one is this absolutely beautiful Second Sight box set. And they did the most amazing restoration on this. And it's a Section 3 title, and it's Toby Hooper's The Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Now, this obviously is going to be grainy, because I think it was shot on, was it 16mm it was shot on? It's very, very old film. However, wow, what a job they've done on this. One of my favourite scenes anyway, and also I think this is one of the scenes also where you can actually see how good a job they've done. It's that absolutely epic shot where, oh, I can't remember the character's name now. She's sat on the bench outside the house and the camera goes under the bench as she gets up and walks towards the house, and the camera goes under the bench all in one shot. Looks amazing. And then when it comes out from under the bench, if you look at the colour of her shorts, Pamela, look at the colour of Pam's shorts. They're red, but my God, they are bright red. And the sky looks amazing. I would love to have put this one in my top 10, but to be honest, all of them are pretty close in the top 10. So that's one honourable mention, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. The second and final honourable mention I wanted to share with you all. Again, wow, this is an absolutely stunning, beautiful set. This is actually a Section 1 title, and this is a Vinegar Syndrome release. And this is Andy Warhol's Frankenstein, or Flesh for Frankenstein. This comes with the 4K, and it also comes with the Blu-ray 3D, both of which look absolutely stunning. I originally got this, and then we got replacement discs for it, and I couldn't understand why. It was something to do with the colour. I didn't think the first one was that bad, but wow, they did such an amazing job on this. It looks stunning. Again, it wasn't used with the greatest of materials, but that's not taking anything away for it. Again, I would have put this in the top 10, but I could only have 10, so that is a very, very close honourable mention and runner-up. Andy Warhol's Frankenstein. So here's the top 10, and coming in at number 10 is what's probably my favourite Dario Argento film, and it is a Section 1 title, Tenebrae. This film is just absolutely amazing. I love it to bits. Great slasher. It's got plenty of suspense in it, and you're guessing all the way through. I did get the Blu-ray box set to this, but when Arrow decided to do these beautiful box sets for 4K using the original cinema artwork, I thought, I've got to have these. And when I got this, I was like, wow, it does look even better. Colours in this are so vibrant, and it's definitely the best this is ever going to look. Brilliant film as well, I must admit. I didn't used to really be a fan, sort of back in the 80s and 90s of the Italian stuff. And I think for me personally, it was one of those things that I could only appreciate fully as I got older. It was like, oh, I want slasher or whatever, but no. Yeah, with these you get a bit of everything. They're sort of like horror, but they're also thriller. You get gore, you get the slasher element, there's the mystery element. I can't fault it. So number 10 is Dario Argento's Tenebrae. Number 9. This is a section 1 as well. And this is one of those ones where I got the Blu-ray a couple of years ago, and I didn't think it could look better because the Blu-ray was stunning. It came out on Blu-ray from Severin in the States, and I was talking to John about this, and John said to me, when you think about the films that have come out, you know, like Cannibal Holocaust got another release over here, it was still cut. But he said, do you think that this particular film that I've got as my number 9 will ever get a fully uncut release over here? And I said, no. I was wrong. Because it has. And not only that, it looks absolutely fantastic. This is another Ruggero Deodato film who actually did Cannibal Holocaust. And this one stars David Hess. This is House on the Edge of the Park. I watched this the other night because I've only recently just got this. I know it's gone out of print with the slip. I managed to get this really at a decent price, still sealed. And I opened it and looked and checked, and it was the original release. But then again, I found a copy of the replacement discs as well. I got these for about £4 or £5. So with these and that, I still got it for a couple of quid cheaper than when this first came out. So I'm over the moon about that. What a film this is. This is brutal, if you haven't seen it. It's not brutal as in like, oh my God, this is disgusting, what I'm looking at. It's more the thought behind it. For me, one of the most disturbing scenes is the opening scene. You see David Hess driving along in a car, and he runs this woman off the road, and it's what he does then. I was like, wow. I then found out later on that the woman in that scene, it's actually his wife in real life. So I don't suppose it would have been too bad for them. But when I was watching this, I was blown away. The colours, I could see the reds and stuff, and I did notice there's a scene where the lights go out and the house is in darkness, and the black levels on this, I was like, Jesus, it was fantastic. This is a 88 Films release, and they have done such a damn fine job on this. I'm over the moon with it, and it's such a great film as well. So number 9, House on the Edge of the Park. Number 8, this is another 88 Films release, and this one, I was really, really stunned at how good this looked, because it was like another low-budget one, another Italian one. I can't remember whether this is a section 2 or 3, but it's definitely not a 1. I think it's a 2. It is, it's a 2. What a film. It's funny. There's an annoying guy in it. The guy's pretty damn good, and the kid in this, he's only little, and he doesn't last long in the film, but he's fantastic. This is Hell of the Living Dead. On the Video Nasties list, it's called Zombie Creeping Flesh. Now, I remember this one being out and people saying it like it is crap. People were saying it's terrible. It really isn't. It is such an enjoyable film. I've watched this twice since I got it. I only got this a few weeks back. And my God, the colours, the sharpness on this are unreal. It absolutely stuns me when you think back to the VHS days, to the grainy tapes, and they did no remaster, and they just got whatever film they had, slammed it on the VHS or Betamax, and out it went. This could have been made within the last 5 years. It looks that good. The reds in this, awesome. I can't get over it. I can't get over how good this looked. But this is such an entertaining film. And again, I got this really cheap. This was opened, but the discs themselves, everything about it just looks as brand new. And it got the replacement discs sent separately. But I do have the replacement discs in there. I did the same with House on the Edge of the Park as well. So the replacement discs are in there, and the original ones, which are sort of the ones that you don't really want to watch, are in there. I think I've swapped it round anyway. I'm doubting myself now because that says big on the end of it. I'll have to double check. Anyway, the seller was selling this with them. 15 quid I got them for, and free postage. What a bargain. But this one, I highly recommend this, not just because it's such an entertaining film. And the Blu-ray is actually region free as well. But the picture quality on this is like, it's fantastic. Like I say, and the reds, unbelievable. There he is, the kid. He's only little. It's quite disturbing because he's only little, like what he gets up to in the film. But I don't understand why people say like this is terrible. This is one of the worst ones like on the list and that, because it's such an enjoyable film. So that is Hell of the Living Dead, or on the Video Nasties list, Zombie Creeping Flesh. Number 7. This one is it's a US import. This is a Blue Underground release, and I cannot believe that very, very generous person, a guy I talked to, I think he watches my videos as well, and I think he watches John, very generous Gary Pryor, sent me this. To get this like sent to me was unbelievable. This is a section 1, and it's Lucio Fulci's Zombie, or on the Video Nasties list, Zombie Flesh Eaters. I watched this a couple of weeks ago for the first time, because when he sent me it, I hadn't long watched the Blu-ray, so I thought, I want to watch this now. Wow, did this look amazing. They've cleaned this up so well. It looks fantastic. The opening scene on the boat in New York with the Twin Towers in the background, where they go into the boat and they find that big fat zombie. The colours on that, I was I was actually retching looking at all the rotten stuff that was in the boat, but like the blood, the blue sky, the water. I also didn't think there was very much grain in this. They've done a fantastic job with this. I have actually still got the note in there as well. And they've actually put the Blu-ray in as well. This seems to be a lot of people's favourite video nasty. It appears to be a lot of people's favourite zombie film. Not mine. Don't get me wrong, I think it's a very, very good film. I'm watching it on this. I put my phone down and I watched it from start to finish. And I've always said this is slow. It is a little bit, but my God, I enjoyed it so much more this time by actually sitting and watching the film instead of prattling about on my phone or pausing it to do something and coming back to it. I had a blast with this, and it is definitely, without any shadow of a doubt, the best it's ever looked. Will this get a release over here? I don't know. I thought by now it would have done if it was going to. But Gary, your star, thank you very much for sending me this. Very, very grateful. If anybody knows where I can get, or if anybody has a spare slipcover for this, can you let me know? I don't expect it for nothing. I would pay for it. But even if it's on any site, eBay or whatever, just give me a shout. Because I'm always looking for the slip for this. You know what I'm like with slipcovers. But this looks immaculate. So that is Lucio Fulci Zombie, known on the Video Nasties list and in the UK as Zombie Flesh Eaters. Number 6 is a Section 3. I remember when this came out, people were saying, don't get the American one, get the UK one, because it's better. And they were also referring to it as the Studio Canal. Well, that was absolute bollocks, because it was actually released by the same company, which is Universal Pictures. I think this still shocks a lot of people when I say to them this actually was a Video Nasty Section 3. But over here, Universal released it and made it look like the Studio Canal releases. But it was Universal. They did it so they would match. But I've got the American one. This is the Universal release with the slip of John Carpenter's The Thing. Now, a lot of people were saying this looks crap. No, it doesn't. This looks absolutely phenomenal. I need to watch this again now because, like, I've been saying it for weeks. I'm due a watch of The Thing. I love this film. How the hell this ever ended up as a Video Nasty, I don't know. Should never have been there. But it did. Even though a lot of people don't class Section 3 as a Video Nasty thing, it is, or it wouldn't be there. There wouldn't be a Section 3. It just never got officially banned. It ended up going back on the shelves uncut. There's nothing else really to say about this film. I think everybody on the planet just about has seen this. But I will show you, just in case you've got the UK one, you've never seen this one. That's a download code. So there's the 4K and the Blu-ray together there. It's not my favourite John Carpenter film, but it's definitely up there. It's probably top 3 or 4 in my John Carpenter favourites. But the look of this, it looks amazing. And the bit with the dogs. Wow. Again, the colours, the black levels on this. There is a bit of grain, but it's nothing too bad at all. I can highly recommend this. The people who said it looks terrible, don't listen. Idiots, man. So that is my number 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. I'm losing track. Brain rot. My number 6 is John Carpenter's The Thing. Number 5. This is Section 2. This was another one of those films, even more so than Zombie Creeping Flesh. that had no right looking as good as it does on 4K. I got this and I put it on expecting this to look pretty crummy, to be honest. But it looked so good. I think because of the age of it and with it being such a low budget film, I think that's why I've sort of rated this higher than something like The Thing. Because when you consider the filming conditions and the materials used on this, this looks phenomenal. And this is the absolute timeless classic from Sam Raimi. And for me, his masterpiece, The Evil Dead. Wow. Everything about this, black levels, colours, blood red, everything. I never thought I would see The Evil Dead looking this good. I really didn't. And I'm so glad I got this nice little cine edition, which is the HMV sort of exclusive. It's like sort of the original artwork, but with a twist on it. And you don't actually get a steelbook in this one, but you do get the original US artwork. My biggest problem with this is we never ever get that Graham Humphreys artwork on the reverse. Why? It's better than any of the US artwork. And any of the other UK artworks. I love it, and you do get a poster with this. I remember when this came out, when I finally got to watch it, and when I finally had it, I used to play this loads, I used to watch it loads. It is still to this day, for me, the greatest Evil Dead film, and it's my favourite of the lot. It's fantastic. But honestly, this looks so good, I can't tell you. When you consider they had no money, low budget, not the greatest of like film stock and stuff like that. Wow. You need to get an eye for this if you don't have it already on 4K. Sam Raimi's The Evil Dead. Number 4. I've messed up a bit. I've put one more in too much. However, with these, I was struggling which to put sort of in front of the other, because these are both as good as each other for different reasons. So I'm going to say this is a joint number 4 to get out of it. It's not a cop-out. I've just absolutely messed up. And they are basically number 1 and 2. One's a sequel to the other. But these are amazing. If I had to pick, I would say the second one looks better. But my God, does the original look amazing as well. So these two, for my number 4, are George A. Romero's Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead. I got Night of the Living Dead on this steelbook from Amazon France. Absolute bargain, but it turned up dented and damaged. So they sent me a replacement, and you got the usual Amazon, if you don't send it back within such and such, you'll get billed twice. So I sent it back. They didn't get it because I didn't send it tracked or recorded, sorry. So I ended up paying for it twice, and I've only got the one. So I paid double for this. So instead of getting it for like 15 quid, I ended up getting it for 30 quid. So you'd pay that for a 4K anyway. And I thought, I ain't getting chewed over this, it'll drive me mental. But look at this. It might still be there now, but I wouldn't advise you trust them. I really wouldn't. This is another reason why I don't like ordering from the foreign eBay websites. It's dodgy as hell. But when you take it out with this, obviously I put the sleeve on, but when you take it out with the actual J-card thing, which is really good because it's like a sort of a half box and it fits in nicely. That's the steelbook. And then you get that in English at the back. They're coming to get you, Barbara. And this is a 3-disc set. So you get the 4K, the Blu-ray, and then I think the other Blu-ray is extra features. I've only had the 4K on. Now, I do have the Criterion Blu-ray as well. And I'll be honest, there's not much in it. The Criterion Blu-ray looks like a 4K itself. This one looks just as good. It's a bit sharper. So because of that, with it being a 4K, there's a bit more grain. However, wow. For a black and white 1968 film, this is absolutely amazing. And as you can imagine as well, with it being a black and white film, the black levels are fantastic. Absolutely love this film as well. I think it's fantastic. I could watch this anytime. Such a brilliant film. If you can get this, I highly recommend it. There is a box set available as well, I think. It was on Amazon Germany, but I think there's a German website you can get from as well. Keith at Euphoria Pictures, one of my partners in crime on the live streams, another lovely guy. I'll leave a link below to Keith's channel. He's got the box set from this. He did tell me where he got it from, and he told me the site, but I can't for the life of me remember. But go over to Keith's channel if you haven't already, which you probably already have, because, again, like John, everybody knows him and everybody loves him, and I think half the planet subscribed to them both, so... But I'm sure he's done a video on that box set. But this will do me. I would love the box set, but I'm not paying over the else for it, but this will do me. It's a 4K. It's a nice steel book. And it looks phenomenal. So that one's Night of the Living Dead. The other one, Dawn of the Dead. This blew me away. Absolutely blew me away how good this looked. There's 3 cuts of the film in here. The only regret is I wish that I got the big box set with the book and everything on 4K. I didn't. I did, however, get it on Blu-ray, which is why I got the little one, so I've got it on 4K as well. So I have got that box set, but it's Blu-ray only. But if you haven't seen this on 4K, my God, are you in for a surprise? Because it looks absolutely amazing. This, to me, peas all over zombie. Or zombie flesh eaters. This, for me, is the greatest, I think he said vampire then, greatest zombie film of all time, and I can't see it ever being beaten, for me personally. 3 cuts, so you get the extended cut. People sometimes also call it the director's cut. You get the Italian cut, which is the one that Dario Argento had a lot to do with. And then you get the international cinema cut, which is the shortest one, I think. I always watch the extended one. I do need to watch the other 2 because I've only watched the extended. But you are definitely in for a treat with this. You also get a Blu-ray of features as well. Loads of features on. So that's my number 4. Joint. George Romero's Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead. So we're down to the top 3. So my number 3. I think this is common knowledge. I think anybody who hasn't got this has heard like how good this looks on 4K. There's a bit of grain, nothing too serious at all. But for this one, I know the black levels people talk about a lot, but this one is definitely more the colours. I didn't like this film when I first watched it, and it was nothing to do with it not being on 4K at all. I think it was more the fact I wasn't paying attention. I was on my phone and usual reasons. But because I had all the others by this fella, I needed this. And it hasn't been released over here on 4K, I don't think. So this is an American import, and this one was released by Synapse Films. This is Dario Argento's Suspiria, which is a section 2. And I always believed it was a section 1 for some reason. This, whew, the colours are so good on this, you need sunglasses. My God, there's a part in it, and it's always this part that stands out for me. She's walking, the main character. in this building. I think she's like a sort of a, I think it's like a backstage thing, because she's a ballerina in this. I mean, she walks around this corner, because it's quite suspenseful, this bit as well. The background, and I think it's because the lights are shone on it, are blue. But it's more like that blue, sort of quite a dark blue. But my God, it was like, you like that at the screen because it's that vibrant. And it's like, Jesus, look at that. Nothing was happening. She was just stood there with this blue background, and it just like, wow. Absolutely unreal how they've done this. I've not seen any other 4K release of this. Actually sat and watched it. I know one exists, but everybody says that this is the one to get. It's quite expensive. Like, I think you're looking at 30 quid minimum, unless it's come down a little bit more. But it was when I got this. I got it for 30 and it was new. But also, the slip is hard to get hold of as well, from what I've been told. So I was very lucky to get it. I actually do like that new artwork. I think that's one of the original artworks. Again, I wish we could get a release where they would show the original UK Video Nasty artwork. It's the same that's on the UK quad poster. I don't think it was used anywhere else. I think we must have got our own artwork done for it. And nobody ever uses it, and it's such a shame. Such a shame. You do get a Blu-ray of special features on it. I don't think the film's on it, but I could be wrong. And you do get a booklet as well. A separate high-definition Blu-ray disc loaded with special features. Yeah, I don't think the film's on it. Now, when I watched this and put everything down again, no phone or nothing, do you know, I really enjoyed it. A hell of a lot more than what I did the first time. Because I've gone from hating it on first watch to genuinely, like, really, really liking it. I thoroughly enjoyed it. It's not my favourite Argento film. For me, my number 10, which was Tenebrae. It's either that or the very underrated Cat o' Nine Tails with Carl Malden. Oh God, I hope that gets a 4K release. I absolutely love that film. But yeah, Suspiria. Absolutely mind-blowing. It looks amazing. If you're umming and ahhing whether to get this on 4K, don't even think about it. Do it. You won't regret it, honestly. Dario Argento. What a bell end! Dario Argento's Suspiria. Number 2. At first, when this got a 4K release, I thought, I really want that, but nah. And I'm so glad I got it in the end. This, I'm pretty sure, was a mistake. This should never have been on the list. Because at the time, there was another film with the same title. And because they picked this one up, the other one got away with it. This is a Section 2. And this is a Scream Factory release. This is my number 2, and it is Toby Hooper's The Funhouse. I remember when I watched the Blu-ray, I was like, yeah, this looks really good. When I put this on, Jesus Christ, I was absolutely blown away. Everything that's mentioned when everybody does 4K reviews, whether it be the colours, the picture sharpness, the black levels. Wow, this has it. This looks absolutely beautiful. I don't know what it is that Scream Factory do, but they just seem to get it right 99.9% of the time. And my God, they did with this. The only bit that looks a bit ropey in this is right at the end, before the titles start, at the end. In the carnival, as the camera's backing away, you see like a tent in the bottom left corner, I think it is. And the top of that tent, because everything else is like being so... because it's like all been scanned in 4K and everything's so clear. You're like, oh, that looks a bit ropey, but it can't be helped. But it's just the top of the tent, because the sunset and everywhere else looks amazing. Wow. So yeah, there's a film called, I think it was called, I might get this wrong here, but I think it was The Last House on Dead End Street. I think that's what it was called. And it had another name, which was The Funhouse. And I think that's what they thought they were getting here. This has since been released back in the UK again, fully uncut, as a certificate 15. So a lot of this is divided. A lot of people find this dull, uneventful. They think it's boring. It does nothing for them. I absolutely disagree. I think this is such an enjoyable film, and you have such a fun time watching it, and especially if you haven't seen it before. Unfortunately, that isn't in it. Because if that was in the film, I'd be terrified. However, there is some big ugly pig in a mask who is... this is not easy going. You do get that artwork on the cover as well as on the slip. But I've reversed it round to that, which I think was the teaser poster for it in the States. Even over here, though, that was the artwork that was used. That's the best artwork. If this didn't have reversible artwork, I wouldn't have been bothered, because I love that clown artwork. And you do get the Blu-ray as well, which is a different Blu-ray to their original release, I think. But look at the 4K artwork, how beautiful that is. I love this film. I'm not going to go into the plots of these. There's no point. You've either all seen them before or you've heard the plots before. This is just basically one of my favourite 4K transfers. But this is, wow, it's one of the best I've seen. I love it. So that's my number 2, Toby Hooper's The Funhouse. Now, my number 1 or my number 2 may change, because I am getting another Scream Factory Video Nasty 4K, but not yet. I was going to wait until it landed, but I wanted to get this video done, so I will just send you an update. I'll do a video with an update, send you an update. I'll do a video with an update on it, telling you where I would position it in my top 10 when I get it eventually. Whether it's going to beat this one, I don't know, because I'll be honest with you. With this, it's not like, you know, when you get a film that was made recently, there's like not an ounce of grain on, and it's just clear, pin sharp, right? This does have grain, but it is not heavy grain at all. And this to me is a prime example of a film that has absolutely, even more so than The Evil Dead, this has absolutely no right to look as good as what it does. Very low budget. I think it was low film stock as well, 16 or whatever it was. And this is one of the rare occasions where I've put the film in, and when I've played it, my jaw has dropped because it looked that good. It starts off with a broad daylight sunny scene. I'm like, oh my God. And then you see the titles, the colours so vibrant, virtually no grain. And then when you see the greenery, wow. There's a bit where you see some red carpet, and it's like a similar effect as what I said with Suspiria, with the blue. It's like that. A lot of people are probably going to be shocked at this one, but for my number 1 best looking 4K that I've got at the minute, when you put well, Video Nasty, when you put everything into perspective as well. Like, it wasn't made by a major studio. It was a very low budget independent film. So not all the best materials were available to this director and the crew. But I can honestly say, up to now, this is my best looking and my favourite looking Video Nasty 4K. And it's a Section 1 and it's fully uncut. And it's Miyazaki's I Spit on Your Grave. My God, you have got to see this. Do not get the UK version. It's cut. It will always be cut in the UK. They've re-released it so many times and they go, longest version. That doesn't mean it's cut, uncut, because it is. Every single version that's come out in the UK to date is cut. This is the fully unrated, uncut version. My God, like I said, the greens, the reds, just the sharpness, and this could have been filmed just a few years ago. It looks that good. It's phenomenal. Now, I don't know whether the UK one, if you want to get the cut one, I don't know if it's got the same transfer. But that's another reason why I wouldn't get the UK one. Because I don't know if it's going to look as good as this, plus it's cut anyway. But my God. With this, I think this is a 3-disc set as well. When I got this, you could only get it on the people who released it, which is Ronin Flicks. It was their website exclusive to get the slip. When it come out publicly, it didn't have the slip. Now I think you can get it. If it's still available, that is, obviously. Now, I thought this was going to look crummy as well, because, like, the colours on the slip aren't great. You see how the red isn't particularly vibrant? It looks like more like a sort of a copy. No. It looks amazing, honestly. This one's got no reversible art, right? So you get the film on 4K. And then you get the film on Blu-ray. And then you get a bonus disc, which is Growing Up with I Spit in Your Grave. Now, I want to watch that. I've not seen it yet. What does it say? Growing Up with I Spit in Your Grave. Deleted scenes. Teresaki's 8mm film starring Camille Keaton. Home movies. Camille and Mia's wedding and trailer. No, I've definitely not watched it. So the director, Miyazaki, actually married the main star in it. Camille Keaton, who is the... Is she the granddaughter of Buster Keaton? There you go, a bit of trivia for you. Another bit of trivia, which a lot of people now know didn't. That isn't Camille Keaton. That, believe it or not, is Demi Moore. She did it, I think, when she was 18. It was one of her first sort of modelling-y sort of jobs. So there you go. I didn't know that until last year, I think it was. That's Demi Moore. How mental is that? But yeah, if you want a fantastic looking 4K of a Video Nasty, for me, this is the boyo for now. I don't know whether the one that I'm going to be getting in the future will beat it or whether it will be number 2. I will let you know when I get it. But for now, by miles, my number 1 Video Nasty 4K is I Spit on Your Grave. So there you go. That's my top 10 4K transfers of Video Nasties that I've got. Obviously, there's more out there that I haven't seen yet, or whether I will or not, I don't know. Well, there's another 2 being announced, as you probably all know. Anthropophagus and Absurd are now getting 4K releases as well, but they're not out yet. But I want to thank John for asking me to do this, because I've had a blast doing this. And it's something I wouldn't have even had the idea of doing. So, yeah, cheers, mate. Really appreciate it, John. Hope you've enjoyed it. I'm curious to see if any of mine tally with yours, because I can't remember what you put now. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that as much as I enjoyed doing it, and I'm gonna put this in with the rest of the Video Nasty watch list, so it's easy to find. So, yeah, thank you very much for watching, all two of you. I really do appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed that. And I shall be back with another video very soon. And until then, you all take care of yourselves. See you soon. Ta-ta.